Hello and continue video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the best teams for the Willpower Cup. We're going to have 10 top teams here today for you, as well as we're going to take a look at the meta, so everything that you kind of need to know. As you can see already by the nice symbol down there, you're going to only be allowed to use Psychic type, Dark type and Fighting type Pokemon, no other restriction for the Open Great League format. And P-Poke missed the Pokemon, and so we're going to take a look at this one as well in the meta analysis, but there's definitely one Pokemon missing that's currently not on the rankings. Most are going to change till tomorrow, and it should not be banned, and that's very, very good. So we're going to take a look now at the meta. But before this, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It is free. Those videos always are a lot of work, and I hope you appreciate it, and I see you now in the meta analysis. So taking a look at the meta here right now, we're going to see that Mandibus is going to be at the #1 spot, which I'm going to say as well during the teams there as well. This is not the right moveset. I feel like that Snarl doesn't make sense for this Pokemon. Air Slash is way, way better for this, and also Dark Pulse you want to most likely have Foul Play instead, just because of a certain pacing, because you only need 5 to get to 1 Foul Play with this one. So Mandibus on #1, but again I feel like the other moveset would make a little bit more sense. You're going to have a lot of Poison and Dark type Pokemon afterwards, which are going to be very good, like Quillfish and Drapion. Cresselia has a lot of play with Moonblast, going to be able to hit basically every single Pokemon in this meta for neutral damage nearly, which is going to be great, and some super effective ones. And then there are going to be those Fairy type Pokemon, and there is one Fairy type Pokemon that I feel like is weird that it's missing, and this is going to be Gardevoir. Should be there. I'm fairly certain it should be there. I did look at the ruling for it. There's nothing that says that Gardevoir is not allowed. So I'm fairly certain that this is going to be something that is going to be actually allowed, and that's not on P-Poke yet. So again, a small mistake on P-Poke's part. Again, P-Poke, best website. Big love to them as well. Like, definitely really, really needed for PvP. Like, if we didn't have P-Poke, PvP would not even be close to where it is right now. So shouts to P-Poke. But yeah, they're missing, I think, Gardevoir here. Anyway, we see a lot of Dark type Pokemon, and we will see a lot of play for actually a lot of different kind of Pokemon, which you're going to see as well throughout the video. We're going to have a lot of teams here from Dracos coming up as well, which I'm going to say again in the top teams as well. But yeah, a lot of different kind of Pokemon that you can use. Again, it's limited to the Dark, Psychic, and the Fighting type Pokemon. And I will take a look now at the top teams. Team #1, we want to take a look here now at teams. A lot of teams here right now, by the way, are from Dracoris. The first 7 teams I just have from Dracoris. The last 3 teams I tried to build something more creative for myself. So a lot of hard meta teams in the beginning here. We're going to have Mandibus. Here's one thing as well. I don't know if I actually talked about it in the meta analysis. I always record the meta analysis after the main video. We're going to run here Air Slash variant. Air Slash makes way more sense for this meta, as it's going to be able to hit also Dark type for neutral damage, but also Fighting type Pokemon for super effective damage. So why would you ever want to run the move of Snarl for this Pokemon? I don't know. It's better to run Air Slash for sure in this meta. We have Drapion here, and we're going to have Quillfish, and I'm fairly certain that Poison Jab is one of the best fast moves that you can have for this meta. Poison Jab allows you to hit so many Pokemon for nice damage, and there are a lot of very decent Fairy type Pokemon that you can counter with that way easier than if you would have Poison Sting. Doesn't mean that Poison Sting is bad, or like generally speaking, in some matchups Poison Sting might be better. But personally, I feel like Poison Jab users are very, very good in this meta, and for the Hisuian Quillfish, you could also use any of the other Poison and Dark type Pokemon like Grimer, Muk, Skuntank. Skuntank also very good Pokemon, very underrated, really, really good Pokemon now with Trailblaze as well. Again, Poison Jab is kind of the way to go, especially in this meta, and yeah, this is going to be team #1, very, very solid meta team, and we can move on to team #2. Which is going to feature Claydol. Claydol is going to be very interesting here. Again, we're going to have another Poison type with Poison Jab in the lead that you can use as well here with the Slowbro, which is access to Brutal Swing, which actually is a very, very good core breaker in this meta. Very, very good Pokemon. Mandibus, Sayswap, Air Slash doesn't really have a hard answer, to be fair. Like, even the Fairy type Pokemon, even something like Gardevoir, which we talked already most likely in the meta analysis, which is not on P-Poke currently, even though it should be allowed. They're still not going to have a great time here. The cool thing about Claydol as well is going to be one of the hardest answers to Morpeko, which can be a bit of a tricky one. And here in the back we're going to have Annihilate, or also the Skuntank here. Skuntank has a lot of play as well, but Annihilate with Righteous, very good Pokemon. Here's one thing that I kind of want to talk about. There is only really one Pokemon, maybe 2 if you really want to count them, but like really one Pokemon that can resist Charm. And this is kind of here the Victini. There are most likely some other Pokemon, don't get me wrong. I already can think about something like a Bronzong can resist Charm if you want to run Bronzong in this meta. But I feel Bronzong is a very difficult Pokemon to use. Victini is one of the, small ones that can resist Charm, which is really, really nice. It has to be, of course, a part Psychic type and then a part typing that can resist Charm. Slowbro also, Galarian form, can resist Charm, but those Pokemon are very, very rare and very, very decent, as it's going to allow you to have Dark type Pokemon with a little bit more play. So here Victini is going to be one of the best Charm resist. Delphox, by the way, would be the other Fire and Psychic type Pokemon that would also be available for this one as well. Try to, of course, say someone's a little bit better. I'm sorry about this one, not native, of course. But as you see here, Victini has a lot of play, being able to beat something even like the Cresselia, and it's a very good close on the current meta, especially if you can farm on something. V-Crate just hits everything super, super hard. Like, if you take a look at the meta, basically nothing can resist this move other than Guslord. And so this Pokemon is going to be amazing, and we can move on to team number 4. Which is going to be around the Shadow Annihilate, the Drapion, and Galarian Slowbro. As said before, it is great to have a Charm resist, a Fairy type resist, and Slowbro is mostly the best one for them. Honestly, I think Slowbro is the best Fairy type resist in this meta here. Very good Pokemon, just very good Pokemon in the back here. Drapion, best Say Swap most likely. There's nothing that can really want to swap into this Pokemon either. And then we're going to have Annihilate in the lead, and look how strong Annihilate looks like. Like, this Pokemon slaps, like this Pokemon really, really slaps. But yeah, again, Fighting type Pokemon, I'm very certain that Mandibuzz is always going to run Air Slash, which is going to make it a little bit more tough for Fighting type Pokemon. And still going to be a very solid Pokemon to run here. Shadow Annihilate, very, very strong. Same goes for also here again Shadow Annihilate or Shadow Primeape in the back. Both of them are going to be kind of fine. Air Slash Mandibuzz. If you have Air Slash Mandibuzz, it's also kind of nice at least to have Foul Play on this Pokemon. As Foul Play is going to have this nice uniqueness of you needing only 5 Air Slashes to get to. You need kind of 6 for the Dark Pulse. It's not as bad for example, Snarl, where like you would get to the first move at the same time. The second move, you're gonna get one fast move faster to the Foul Play. But as you will see here, you need an entire new fast move to get to Foul Play, otherwise get to the Dark Pulse otherwise. And so I feel like this is going to be the better way to go for. Primeape in the back also looks very, very good. Annihilate looks a little bit better in this meta. Both are going to be fine though. Both of them going to have a lot of play and definitely like a right job in the spamminess of this Pokemon, with especially also the move of closer combat here, being able to hit hard against all those Dark type Pokemon, going to be very, very good. And we can move on to team number 6. We're just going to be even with the Sableye here. Sableye, having access to Power Gem now, going to be an interesting Pokemon because you're going to be able to use this Pokemon as even like a Say Swap to try to bait out potentially Mandibuzz. Here we have the normal variant with the move of Power Gem. You can also have the Shadow variant, but as you can see here on paper, this Pokemon looks like a lot of fun. And spoiler alert, for the next team, there's going to be the Shadow variant of it, so we're going to see on how good this Pokemon going to be as well. But as we see here, this team looks really, really good. Like, definitely a very strong team again from Dracovis. Check out them out in the description as well. They're always in the description. Very good website, especially if you are interested in the play Pokemon tournaments. So anyway, we're going to move on now to team number 7. Final one that I kind of stole here, and afterwards I mainly did some more fun ones because they're all very meta, they're all very good, like they're all very usable. We're going to see here the Shadow Sableye, and it's going to be looking kind of similar towards what we had before already. Power Gem here, of course, kind of needed. Rapidash in the lead, going to be an interesting Pokemon, very decent against Mandibuzz for sure, especially with a Wild Charge. Having actually a lot of play in this meta, I feel like Wild Charge is definitely going to see some play, and I'm mostly going to take a look at this one as well. And then we're going to have Claydol in the back, trying to counter Poison type Pokemon, of course. Makes a lot of sense, very solid team, should work out quite well, and we can move on to team number 8, which is going to be the first one that I built. And don't get me wrong, I try to have some more unique Pokemon in here sometimes. For example, here, the Krokorok, the Crocodile. This Pokemon has a lot of play, and as I said before, Gardevoir. Gardevoir is something that a lot of people overlook because it's currently not on PvPoke yet. For this cup, it should be there, like based on the browser, like what Niantic says in the blog post. It should be allowed. There shouldn't be really anything against it, but as you can see there as well, there's like this yellow marking around it. It's currently not allowed apparently on PvPoke, but just a better Hatterene. Hatterene is ranked 10 for this meta, and Gardevoir is even better because even of the coverage move of Triple X, allowing you to boost yourself. This Pokemon going to be very, very strong, and I would imagine it's going to be very good, especially together with a Mud Slapper. Even here, Crocodile is going to be able to support this Pokemon quite well, beating those poison types there, which is really, really cool. And so, yeah, we're going to have kind of the fast move beatdown team of this meta. Very cool team, and we can move on to team number 9. Which, as said before, I have some funnier ones in here. A Alolan Raichu, I feel like this Pokemon has play. this Pokemon has definitely play, especially if everybody is running Air Slash on Mandibus, making the matchup way better for you, making this matchup very nice for you. But also otherwise, Raichu has a lot of play with Wild Charge and Thunder Punch. It's currently running Trailblaze based on the, what PvP Poke says. I don't think that Trailblaze is really that nice for it. I have to say, I think it's better to have Thunder Punch. Having a cheaper charge move is very nice on this Pokemon. Prey in the face-up position, Pangoro in the back, making a very solid backline. There's nothing really that you have to worry about, other than maybe Hatterene. Charmers can be an issue, definitely, I have to say, but I'm not too sure on how many they're going to be really. But yeah, we can move on now to the final team of today's video, which has to be with Morpeko. Why was there not a Morpeko team before? I don't know, but Morpeko is actually very cool, and I like this team a lot. Why do I like this team so much? Because I always like when my team has a face-up that has the same coverage as my lead. And look at this, we have a Wild Charge, the Community Day move on the Rapidash. Together with Morpeko, this is going to be a fun one for sure. I do think that the Willpower Cup is going to be an interesting cup for sure. I don't think it's going to be too great, to be fair, in the long run. A lot of, the same teams all the time. But I feel like Morpeko has a lot of play here as well, as you're going to see. Does a lot of damage against a lot of Pokemon, has a lot of win cons, a lot of Pokemon, so I do think it's going to be a great team to run. And this is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the one. If you did, feel free to leave a like. I have to now record the meta analysis, which is already at this point of time. And I will see you then. Bye bye.